Good morning, friends, subscribers, internet strangers. What's up? Welcome to day 24, I think. 24. Maybe the last day of the West Coast road trip. I'm sitting in a parking lot at the hotel in El Paso, Texas. I drove 850 miles yesterday. It's been a couple hours stopping. I made 14 stops, so I should have been farther along the road. Should have got to halfway, but I didn't. So now I'm stuck with 1,301 miles left. GPS says 19 hours. Maybe I make it, maybe I don't. If I get past Little Rock, I make it, because my cheapskate self will not stop. Hillary medicine will push me through. I didn't even use it yesterday. I thought about it. I had it out, and then just drank coffee, and so I have not taken one of those pills, Nuvigil, and it's been a while. It's been well over a year since I've even taken one. So if I take a half of one, hey, I'll get home. I'll probably still be up and do the show in the morning. That'd be awesome. So got to check out this hotel, find some Starbucks. Got some interesting scenes yesterday. A goodbye to traffic. I know y'all wanted one last thing of traffic in LA, so I took some footage of traffic. Maybe I'll find some funeral music, some free funeral music or something to play for it. Not gonna miss the traffic. A lot of construction on the interstate here in Juarez, but Juarez is across the street here in El Paso. But I am 30 miles into Texas. So what does that mean? Man, I got something back at the border that I have been missing. Anybody take a guess what it is? One guess. Concealed carry back in effect. I got my guns back. Magnum. So, for those of you who don't know, reciprocity agreements for concealed carry, every state does not honor them. So, once you get out west for an Alabama concealed carry, it's not honored by New Mexico, Arizona, California, Washington, and Oregon. That group of states. And I carried the guns anyway, but I was very respectful. You know, I kept them. One of them I put in a suitcase, the other one I kept in a bag that I carry with me. But I didn't carry it on my person or any of that kind of stuff, just because, I didn't want to. First of all, I didn't want to lose one or go to jail for one, but also, just try to be respectful of laws in general, except for speed limits. Those things are stupid. They're meant to be broken. Thought I had a ticket last night. I don't know where I was in New Mexico, somewhere. Speed limit had dropped from 75 to 65, and I did not realize it. And I come blasting through there about 84, 85 miles an hour. Radar lights up. There's two sheriff's officers in the median. But evidently, I appreciate those guys having such a good conversation that they didn't care about this Alabama redneck. So they didn't even light me up or nothing. They just kept doing what they were doing, which is, hey, they're taking care of business. They're doing whatever. Hey, more power to them. Appreciate you. Man, that's a big dog to be traveling with a Weimaraner. So anyway, I like Weimaraners. They're pretty dogs. So I have to check out the hotel, then I'll be back. But and we'll get some. Spend a lot of day in Texas, because Texas is, when you're trying to go from side to side of Texas, it's gonna take all day and then some. Want to check out the hotel? Don't go anywhere. So here's a good story. Last night, after driving 850 miles, I check into the hotel. It's a La Quinta right off the interstate. Oh, shut up! It's too early in the morning. It's a La Quinta right off the interstate, so it's not terrible. But it's one of those. It's a motel. The doors are on the outside, and which I don't care. Just lock it down. But bet y'all can't even see me for the sun. This nice Texas sun has got me up pretty good. The room smelled like an ashtray though, and I'm as close to being allergic to cigarette smoke as you can be without really being allergic to it. It's just, after growing up with a mother that smoked, I abhor cigarette smoke. Hate it. And avoid it at all costs. So yeah, I was not a happy camper. But they were very nice and all, apologetic. They made a mistake and meant to put me in a different room. But anyway, so yeah, that was that. Ooh, 2.5 miles of Starbucks. I think today is a double espresso shot and a caramel macchiato day. Some days are not. I haven't had the double in, it's been a while, since the first few days of this trip. I was drinking those. But then, there goes Lee Trevino Drive. I like Lee Trevino. He's one of my favorite older golfers. Personality, he's class, personality, just a good guy. One of my favorite golfers. Old or young. I'm a big Mickelson fan too, but for the older guys, I really like Trevino. So yeah, this is gonna be a long day if I can't even keep the train of thought going. Lordy. First couple days, I started off with a lack of sleep, and so I was using the caffeine to get a kickstart. Then sleep normalized, and so everything went back to normal. So I just drank. If I drank anything, it was just a caramel macchiato, just an espresso drink. But today, we need a little oomph to get going. So, I've asked a couple questions in these videos. 1,300 miles today is probably what I'm going to drive. Let's reset it. Let's reset trip number D right now. Alright, so we'll tell you exactly how many miles it is. What's the most miles you've ever driven in a day? Would you drive 1,300 miles? Or am I just that much of a lunatic? I know my brother has driven about 1,100. He drove from Rhode Island straight to Tuscaloosa. The same time frame because he had to go through and around New York and Philadelphia. But I'll be out in wide open space in Texas where speed limit is what it is. They don't have up north. They don't have 75-mile-an-hour speed limits. At least none that I've seen. So out west, there's not nearly as much traffic. Once I clear, didn't realize El Paso was so freaking big. So hey Mexico, Juarez. Good morning. Maybe one day we'll go to Mexico. Other than Canada, I never left the country. And Canada seems like the U.S. except for they say A. At least in my mind they say A. I guess it's because I'm watching the Canadian hockey movie. Can't remember the name of it. The whatever brothers. Now that I've mentioned it and can't think about it, somebody tell me what the movie is before I have to Google it. I have to watch it again when I get home. I've got it on the computer. When they act like they found a rat in a beer trying to get free beer. Yeah, that movie. So anyway, rambling, carrying on. I'm going to turn this thing off until I get some caffeine in me. I'm going to go to Walgreens first. Walgreens they've started carrying the little half-liter drinks the 6-packs, 2 for $6, which Walmart's usually $2.53, $3.33. Those are the three prices I've seen them at. So it's just as easy to get in and get out of a Walgreens as it is to try to wander through a Walmart this time of day. Well, Walmart wouldn't be bad this time of day, but it's just so big and you generally have to walk to the back. But Walgreens is very compact and very quick, so there's that. When I have had some coffee and can make a sentence, I'll be back. So, Bearded Picker, what have you been doing this morning? Well, I've been out surveying part of the southern border, thinking to myself, this would be a good place to put a wall. That'll give me some thumbs down right there. It's really fascinating to know that you look across the field and on the other side of that tower is Mexico. And it's been like this for quite a few miles. I think I must have been asleep when my brother and I came through here because I didn't realize Juarez was so big and how how much of a population center that was over there. Pretty neat to be looking at another country from the safety of your van going 84 miles an hour on the interstate. One thing you should know about the southern border: if you decide to go to California or Nevada or Denver and purchase something for your legal consumption in those states, but it's illegal in states you travel back through, if you come within 100 miles of the border, the southern border, like I came through El Paso, so you know I get hit with a golf ball so close. But the interstate, if you look at a map, Interstate 10 runs right up, probably a quarter mile from the border from several checkpoints, and it stays at about a half a mile for maybe three-quarters of a mile for quite some time. All these roads and all these interstates have secondary checkpoints, and I just went through a secondary checkpoint here on I-10 about the 104, 105 marker. It's a permanent structure. Yes, if you look it up, it's been held as with constitutional, not violating your search and seizure rights. Anyway, drug dogs. He was standing right there when I drove by. You know, I have a couple little pins or EpiPens in this bag here, but I don't think they get off much of a smell. Not much you can do to beat a drug dog if you've got enough to where you can smell it, because dogs, do some Google searching and see what you find out, but putting it in coffee grounds, laundry detergent, all that stuff, a dog's nose works different than yours, and where we smell, smell coffee as one blend, or smell a good blueberry muffins I got right here. We smell them as blueberry muffins. He would smell the cake, the blueberry, everything would be separate. A dog's nose smells everything separate. So if you put, say, some weed in coffee grounds, his nose would smell the weed and the coffee grounds separate. That's why it's hard to beat a drug dog. Anyway, so not to be outdone, they stick a prison out here too. So that's kind of a good one. There's a prison right beside the secondary checkpoint. And if you've never been out on the stretch of I-10 and wonder why it's so hard to cross the southern border, I'll turn the camera around in just a minute just to get you. It's just vast nothingness. And right now it's 10 o'clock. It's already 70 degrees, and this is only March. I just can't imagine how hot it gets in the middle of the summer. How much water can you carry? Look up how much a gallon of water carry, how much a gallon of water weighs. It's exceedingly difficult to carry enough water for your survival if you're going to try to cross. And just in case you want to know how big Texas is, from El Paso to Dallas was 650 miles. I looked it up on the map. Dallas. Texas is going to be damn near 750 miles, 800 miles across just to get across this thing. So, yeah. I'm in Texas for most of this day. But that's okay. Got to get through. The only way to get to Alabama is to go through Texas. So, therefore, we are going through Texas. God bless Texas. I'll turn the camera around here next video so y'all can, portion of this, so y'all can see there's just nothing out here. There's some big hills. You got, not to mention they're these big, I don't know if you call them mountains or just monster hills. You got to get over somehow. So how's your day going? Still staring at the windshield. It's now 2:41. I don't think I'm still in Mountain Time. Let's see. Nope, 3:42 Central Time. So I'm in the right time zone now. That was a fast hour. Let's change the clock, shall we? Anyway. So, let's see, how many miles have I driven today? 427 miles so far today. That only leaves a mere 874 miles to go to the house. bored out of my mind after 400 miles of driving, so I'm coming into about 15 minutes to Abilene, Texas. There's 4 Walgreens in Abilene, so I'm gonna take 30 minutes, go to 4 Walgreens, and then I'll get back out on the road. Just wanted to touch base. Traffic has really picked up on I-20. Alright, this is a public service announcement to care of the drivers out here who actually have some sense. So I've been following this guy. He's been running 90-ish, so, you know, whatever. Just let him run ahead of me. I don't care. I like to have a car like that in front of me and see what happens. Well, the car in front of him has been coming into some traffic. Waze, I keep telling y'all to use Waze, showed the cops, so I slowed down. They had all sped, kept going. Well, the car in front of him got pulled. Texas State Trooper pulls around. So now this idiot's back in the lead again, right? Well, we come up on some slow trucks. There are a lot of trucks on I-20 in Texas. Just a fact of life. You know, to get from one side of Texas to the other, you got I-10, I-20. No big deal. Sometimes they're irritating. You got to slow down. But, you know, they're just trying to do a job. Well, this Igmo decided that he's driving an Escalade. That he's going to pass because there's a truck going uphill trying to pass another truck. So we had to slow way down from 90 to almost like 64, 65. That he is going to pass on the inside. The inside I mean by on the inside of the white line over there on the side of the road where if you break down you park. And he did this coming into a bridge. So he immediately had to, when he got around the first truck, he had to pull in because the truck that was passing cleared and immediately moved back in the lane and was going to run him off the bridge. And to make matters worse, what does the dumbass do? He puts his left turn signal on, cuts off the truck, the second truck. Lordy. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, there's about to be 3 semis just go splat in front of me. And there's no way to dodge any of this stuff. So for everyone else's safety, don't drive like an idiot. This has been a public service announcement from the Bearded Picker. I know you enjoy these. What an idiot. Ran over. An important lesson. If you're flying down the interstate at night, don't be the lead dog. I was following this guy. I was running 80 by myself and a 70, no problem. This guy passed me going like 86. He passed me right at the Arkansas line. He was from Texas. And we are 121 miles in. There's exit 121. And my radar detector went off, so I slowed down and he kept going. Oops. He just got pulled over by the Arkansas State Trooper. So even if you got somebody in front of you and you can see what's happening to them, if you're pushing a radar detector and it goes off, slow down. It's now 11:37. I left the hotel this morning at 9:30, which would have been 10:30 Central. I'm in the Central Time Zone now. I think I've said that once. But So yeah, that's 13 hours of driving, 935 miles so far. 6 more hours to go at 424 miles to get home. And guess what? The show must go on. I'll get home and it says 5:59. It's falling, but it'll go down some more. But then I got to get gas. I've got 424 and I've got about 320 in gas left. So those two don't add up. So I'm gonna run the gas. I'm probably gonna gas up in Memphis, maybe outside of Memphis. I'm 20 miles from Little Rock. What's the most you have ever driven in one day? This is probably going to be 19 or 20 hours. I did stop in, oh hush, I don't know what the name of that town is in, I'd heard of it before in Texas. Went to 4 Walgreens. I don't know Texas. It was after Odessa before Fort Worth. I was just really bored. I'd been in the car for hours, and I'm like, I need something to do. And there were 4 Walgreens within like an 8-mile radius, so I'm like, let's go shopping. But that's the only thing I've done. That, and the first of the day I started at a Walgreens because I needed some Diet Coke. And Diet Coke, I think I went over that already. But anyway, after you've been in the car for 13 hours, you can't remember what you told the camera. So anyway, just a lesson on how to ride, because I kept this guy half a mile in front of me. I could see him. I set my cruise to match his cruise. He was running cruise, and we got caught up in traffic here or there, but I kept the distance the same. You want to keep someone far enough ahead of you, not on your bumper, because what good does that do? That guy could have pulled us both. But I was a quarter mile behind him, maybe a little over half, and my radar technique goes off. So I slow down. The distance got even farther, and I come over a hill, state trooper. So you want to keep somebody far enough ahead of you where you can see what happens to them. If they're flying, fly with them, but fly smart. Yeah, that's it. And I did take a new vigil about 2 hours ago, so if I seem like I'm a little happy at damn near midnight, it's gonna be like this for a while. I probably won't even sleep at night. I'll just go on with it tomorrow like sleep never happened, because what the hell. This lesson is brought to you by your insurance companies and your wallet. You're just getting all kinds of helpful hints here at the end of the road trip. Just remember, when you're driving at night, deer can't read and don't understand the crossings that we put up. We spend all this money to put up deer crossing signs to tell them where to go, and they don't know. It's sad, isn't it? Anyway, and upgrading your headlights is worth a lot of money, because I just had 2 of them deer wander across a huge 4-lane highway in the middle of nowhere and right out in front of me. I've replaced these brakes before I left on this trip, probably a couple days beforehand. It's probably a good thing, because I don't know the old ones would have stopped. And Bambi just looked at me like, "What you talking about, Willis?" And I was like, "Dang, stupid deer."